Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're gonna cover the top 10 regrets people have after moving here to Delaware, and you better stay to the end because number 10 is a bit of a costly mistake. My name is Austin Gardner and I am a Delaware Realtor, and I am going to give you the inside scoop into these 10 things today. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell if you're interested in getting notifications about videos like this and if they're important for you. With that in mind, let's dive into these 10 things. Number 1 is not understanding that Delaware is a huge volunteer fire department state. Nearly every single one of our departments is either pure volunteer or a combination in which there are some paid staff working. With that in mind, there's a couple unique things with that. First, a lot of jurisdictions have a fire whistle. If you come from the South, probably sounds like a tornado whistle, but for us it is to notify the community and the volunteer firefighters in the community that there is a fire call and they need to make a response to the station. But that is the second thing. Here in Delaware, volunteer firefighters, depending on their rank, may have lighting on their vehicles. For the lower ranks, you may see some white dash lights or flashing headlights, and then some of the higher ranks, you may say even blue lights. Now, the blue lights you are obligated to yield to. The wig-wag flashers and white lights, you're not, but it's still a good idea. But it's something you need to be prepared for, both the siren whistle at any time of the day or looking behind you and seeing what traffic might be coming, responding to an emergency. Number 2 is underestimating how fast the community is growing. As somebody born and raised here in Delaware, I can attest the fact that it's almost a night and day difference. There are so many more people here, so many more housing developments being built that you need to be prepared, that there is still very much a small town charm feel, but there is more people, so there is going to be a bit more traffic, especially around the beach area if you're looking down in Sussex County, or up in Newcastle, especially the MOT area. That's Middletown, Odessa, Townsend. That area has taken off overnight in the last decade. You can pretty much get anything you want as far as shopping, entertainment, home goods, all in that same small area. So just be aware, Delaware's growing pretty fast and you might have 1 or 2 neighbors you might need to meet. Number 3 is getting frustrated with all the construction, not just the new housing developments, but even the road construction. DODOT is constantly working on our roads, and I can say we have some of the smoothest roads around, especially compared to some of you guys up in Pennsylvania, maybe even New Jersey. But it's a good thing in my opinion, whether it's having to deal with it on Route 1, Route 13, or maybe even in some of the smaller towns like down in Milford, Lewis, and Dover, where they're fixing some of the smaller side streets. There's always some type of road construction going on, but that means we've got better roads. And to me, I think that's more of a win than not. Number 4, being surprised by longer commutes in the summer. Now, Delaware is a beach state, and that might be why you're looking into Delaware in the first place. But here's the thing, Delaware's population in the off season, so not summertime, it's about 1 million. But then we almost double in the summer because everybody comes down here for Rehoboth, Lewis, and Dewey. So you've got to be prepared for that extra traffic anywhere 30 to 45 minutes from the beach. And as an in-stater, I will tell you there's a good time to drive north or south. Typically what we say is on Fridays, everybody's going south, so don't head south. You're gonna wanna go north at that point. And then on Sundays, when everybody's going north to go back home, it's okay to come down south. That might be a great idea for you to take a beach day once you're living here. Number 5, being surprised by how friendly and enjoyable everybody is. Delaware is a pretty small state, and I can say almost everybody knows everybody. And if you need something, it's not uncommon to be able to go to your neighbor's house, whether it's, to get some milk and eggs maybe back in the day, or to potentially borrow their weed whacker or leaf blower. For the most part, everybody's super friendly here. And if you want to get to know somebody, you just got to say hi. Or if you need help, just ask. Pretty much anybody here take their shirt off their back to give you help. Number 6, missing out on some of the most awesome local food that there is in the area and instead just going to your stereotypical chain restaurants. I can tell you for a fact, there are so many awesome spots here. Whether you're in Milford and you're talking about, My Sister's Fault, or going up to Dover to, say, House of Coffee, maybe down at the beach, going to Eden. There are so many little spots that are just absolutely awesome. If you go and explore, you're gonna learn. You can probably eat a new meal at every new restaurant in Delaware for years on out and not have the same restaurant or the same meal. So make sure you're prepared to at least spend a little bit of money to go and try some local food. Number 7, struggling with the unpredictable weather patterns. Look, Delaware is a 4-season state. That means we get winter, spring, summer, fall, which is pretty cool in my opinion. However, during those transitions, it can be a little crazy. For instance, right now, it is October 30th as I'm shooting this video. About a week ago, we had our first frost. So that means we were in the 30s. However, on October 31st, Halloween, it's gonna be in the 80s. So during that transitional period, you've gotta be prepared. You might be wearing some pants at the beginning of the day and some shorts by the afternoon and vice versa in the spring. And it's okay, it takes a little getting used to, but you do get all 4 seasons, which in my opinion is the best. Number 8, not acting fast enough with how competitive the housing market is. Now, Delaware is unique. I like to say it's the entire United States squished down really small. So there are parts in Delaware that aren't super competitive, but if a house is priced and marketed appropriately, it can be competitive even if that market area isn't. However, there are parts of Delaware overall that tend to be pretty competitive. Newcastle County is one of them. There's so many people moving in from Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, where if you want to buy a house up there, you got to be prepared to be competitive yourself. Or, for instance, if you're looking in the beach area, especially in the summer, that's when a lot of out-of-staters start looking, and you're going to end up having to be competitive. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about buying a house in Delaware, or even picking where you want to buy specifically. Number 9, having options as far as how you want to travel. Delaware's unique position puts us really close to a lot of major infrastructure as far as traveling is concerned. If you're looking to fly, you can fly out of Philadelphia, you can fly out of Baltimore, you can fly out of all the 3 or 4 airports that are in DC. Plus, there are a couple local airports here as well that you could use too. Or maybe you want to take a train, you can take one out of Newark or Wilmington, and that'll take you to New York, to Boston, or North Carolina. That's an option as well. Or if you're looking just to drive for a couple hours, you can make it into Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, DC. You can go down to Ocean City. There's a lot of options as far as traveling is concerned. And I know some people, depending on where you're in the United States, you might only have one airport you can fly out of, or driving to the next city, it's gonna be a 4 or 5 hour thing. Here in Delaware, it's a lot shorter. There's a lot more options, so just be prepared for a little bit of analysis paralysis, I guess. Number 10, not planning appropriately for the cost of living differences here compared to your state. Now, if you're coming from, say, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and you move into Delaware, it'll likely be less expensive, at least as far as cost of living is concerned, simply because of our taxes, because, well, we don't have sales tax, and because we don't tend to tax pensions, and just the housing tax in of itself. You could buy a house and only pay a couple $1,000s a year in taxes, comparable to parts of New York and New Jersey, where it's tens of thousands of dollars every year. However, if you come from a really inexpensive market, you've got to be prepared that here in Delaware, you're going to be spending at least $300,000, if not $400,000 on a house, maybe $500,000 if you want something bigger, or even more if you want to be on the water. So it's just something to consider from where you are now to living in Delaware. There you have it, the top 10 things people regret once they move here. But if you're planning appropriately, you should be able to avoid that and have a good time. If you're looking to move here to Delaware though, or have any real estate questions in Delaware, feel free to reach out. Me and my team are more than happy to be of service. My contact information is gonna be below. And obviously, if you wanna see more awesome content like this, hit the like, the subscribe, and notification bell so you know when a new video drops. I'll see you guys soon.